Welcome back. Our first guest today lives what you would probably call an eventful life. He's traveling the world alongside country superstar Thomas Rhett. We welcome via Skype the drummer, producer, and band leader, Chris Kimmerer. Welcome.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey Chris.
Hey, okay, so we mentioned that you're on a worldwide tour. We heard that you're actually about to hop on a plane. So where are you right now and where are you going?
Right, so currently right now I'm just sitting in my home studio in Nashville, and my sort of pre-departure routine, just kind of making sure all the loose ends are buttoned up at home, and then we're jumping on a plane here in an hour and a half or so up to New York City, and yeah, working with Thomas this week. His record comes out on Friday, and so there's just a lot of promo kind of stuff going on in New York for the course of the week to support the record release.
Well, Chris, I see you said that you're in your studio at home. I have to ask, on the wall behind you, is this your inspiration wall or what is this?
Right, yeah, so it's just sort of a wall that we put together just of, yeah, some of the stuff that's moved me over the course of, I mean, as far back as my youth, listening to records with my dad, and then moving on into, you know, my college life and the music I was studying in school, and then everything kind of in and around all of that is sort of just something that, yeah, a little bit inspiration for when you're working from the house.
That's awesome.
Love
I would
that.
love, yeah, look at that every day. And then you've also got your drum set behind you. How did you start? How did you become a drummer? Did you just pick it up one day when you were 3, or how'd this work out?
Well, it was a little past 3 when I was a young kid. I grew up in Toronto, Ontario, or just in the suburbs of Toronto, and my family, sort of a musical family. My dad played drums all through his high school career. Kind of a noble story, paraphrased down. He sold his drums to buy my mother a ring. So some years after that, he'd acquired a drum set from a friend. I think I may have been, you know, 8 or 9 years old. Kind of just took a liking to it. He had some interest in it and a bit of skills to go with to sort of get me pointed in the right direction. And then as school kicked in, I joined the school bands and all that stuff, and studied all the way through university. Got my degree in Bachelor of Fine Arts, I think. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm very proud of it, and yeah, the rest has been history.
So wait, well, you said you did band. Were you a marching band drummer?
No, actually, a lot less of that where I grew up in Toronto, and so we were in concert band and jazz sort of bands or whatever. Those were the school opportunities to play.
That's so you're also a producer. So did you pick up a lot more instruments, like, you know, through college and kind of on your career journey here?
Sure, a little bit. Production for me looks and takes on a lot of different shapes, actually, and so a lot of that will end up being computer-based music programming a lot of the time, and then yeah, I have you know, just a basic skill set with playing piano or keyboards, but then also just sort of a good prowess over how to manipulate those sounds and things like that to really create you know, an environment in the studio or create a musical situation that can be inspiring for an artist or a band.
You know, Chris, they say in a song that it ain't no fun if the drummer can't have none. Is there
Say that one more time.
I said it's been said quite a bit that it ain't no fun if the drummer can't have none.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So what is the craziest thing that has happened to you or you guys while on tour?
Man, we have had, over the course of I have 15 years into touring now, full time, and almost hard to count. You know, been around the world a few times. I remember with one of my good guitar player friends that we traveled through Asia together playing music, and we've got pictures that show up on the Facebook reminder. You know, 11 years ago today, we were riding elephants in Thailand.
I want the juicy stuff, Chris. Come on, come on.
My gosh, she's looking for the dirt.
Give me some juice, boo.
What's that?
She's looking for all that. She's looking for you to spill tea. Give all the gossip.
Oh, he took his glasses off.
Sweating. You're making him sweat.
I have that effect on the bars, baby. Don't worry about it. It's not just you, Chris.
But yeah, lots of crazy stuff. We, you know, traveling around here, we get to play a lot of neat venues. I've been able to cross off the Hollywood Bowl off of my bucket list to play Madison Square Garden a few different times, Red Rocks in Colorado, and then, you know, just making records with, been able to work on Thomas's last couple of records, playing drums, and, you know, just to be able to have the experience in the studio on the creative side with him and the folks that produce those records, and then kind of, as a few months pass, you start to hear those songs be played on radio or see them used in TV and film and things like that. Those are just surreal experiences for me, especially as a kid who dreamed of it one day and has sort of years later found a way.
All right, so I think if you move your head to the left just a little bit, I think behind, what does it say on the wall behind you? No bad days, bro.
No bad days, bro. This is a mantra of sorts from a legendary tour manager, Pootie Law, who worked for years and years with Willie Nelson. And when you're on the road, man, it can be a trying thing. And there are days when food may not be up to par, or the accommodations may lack, or the production, or the crowd, or the guys you're traveling with. There's just so many variables. But somehow the idea of no bad days just sort of keeps everybody focused. And so I know for our touring operation, we've really tried to sort of embrace that idea to keep each other accountable, and keep everybody's spirits up and moving.
That's awesome. That's such a good outlook to have.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, good luck with the album drop and everything. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Bye.
Safe travels.
All right, and you can keep up with Chris while he's on tour on social media. His Twitter handle is simply Drummerer. And coming up next, a local woman making waves for Sports Illustrated swimsuit. We chat with her about this opportunity when we come back.